Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming back, checking out another tech tip for teachers. Today is less of a tech tip and more of a scheduling tip, but I guess it's virtual school, so literally every kind of thing that has to do with teaching right now is a tech tip. So let me give you a little bit of background about this scheduling thing. For the first 10 weeks of school, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, we were doing the mini lessons were asynchronous, right? Students viewed mini lessons on their own for reading and writing, and then we would follow up in conferences, and that's how we would use our one-on-one time and our live time. We felt that the live time we have with students is so precious. We didn't really want to waste it lecturing or doing direct instruction. We wanted that to happen on a video so that when we met with students, we could really have time to discuss their skills and strategies that they've already been practicing. That went great for the time we used it for. But leading up to October break, we decided that we wanted to have some more live lessons. There were a few reasons for this. Not all students were watching those mini lessons, and they were just trying to complete the tasks without actually watching the learning bit. That was a bit of a struggle. And also, we just, like, communities of readers and writers, they work together, right? We know that in order to make writing work, in order to produce a good amount of writing, or in order to improve your reading skills, you have to set the time to do it. And by just giving students the assignment sheet and saying, here's your mini lesson, watch this, and work independently for 30 minutes, and then you're done, it's so not authentic, right? Some of the kids were setting timers. We know not all of them were, so we wanted to figure out a way where we could do this work as a community and really bounce ideas off each other. So that's kind of where this schedule came from. A few of the barriers were we're co-teaching 36 students. So that's a big group for a live lesson. We wanted to split up the groups. We also have, students are choosing their own genres at the moment. So we couldn't have a lesson that was for everyone, right? It's not a one size fits all kind of thing. And we wanted students to have enough independent work time so that it was like reading and writing in the classroom, which, in third grade, they work independently for 30 to 45 minutes. So I'm really happy and proud with what we came up with. And I've done now 2 lessons. I've done 1 reading and 1 writing lesson, and they were like maybe some of the best lessons I've ever done. And so let me show you how this schedule works, how I do it on my computer, and then some of the benefits I have found just in the first week. Okay, so here's the workshop schedule. There are 4 different groups that I run simultaneously. So I start with group 1, give a 10-minute mini lesson, and then set that group off to do some independent work time. Then I immediately jump on to group number 2, give their mini lesson. Then group 2 starts independent work time. I move to group 3, give that mini lesson. They do independent work time. And then group 4's mini lesson. Then as they move into independent work time, I jump back to group 1. I do a 5-minute check-in, where we can kind of quickly assess our goals, and then give them more independent work time. Then I do the check-in with all the groups. Then when I finish the check-in for group 4, I go back to group 1, where we do a 10-minute share, and then I do that with each group. So all in total, each group spends an hour and 10 minutes, 70 minutes on a live video call. However, it's 10 minutes of screen time. Then they turn away from their computers. They stay on the call, but they're not actively on the screen. And they have that independent work time. Then there's a 5-minute check-in where they're on the screen. Then another 15 minutes of independent time, and then a 10-minute share. So overall, it's 25 minutes of screen time and 45 minutes of independent work time away from the screen. So I'm sure you're asking yourself, you run 4 meetings simultaneously? What? How does that work? And that's what I'm going to show you next. Okay, so students have their, let me show you this, writing and readers workshop on Tuesdays and Thursdays, right? So it's writers on one day and then readers on the other day. On Sunday, they look through and they sign up for the sessions that they want to attend. So this is all driven by student interest or their needs, right? So they sign up for, here on Tuesday, you can see here are the writing lessons. They sign up for what they need, right? So for the kids who are doing narrative writing, they sign up for a narrative lesson. The kids who are doing informational sign up for the informational lesson. So how do I run this? Okay, so I open each meeting and let me edit this out so I can show you when everything's open. Okay, so I get all 4 of my meeting windows tiled so I can see all of them at the same time. Then I start with workshop 1, join the meeting, teach the lesson. And because I have this extension on the Google Meet breakout room extension installed on my Chrome browser, I am able to turn off my sound, which really shouldn't matter because students shouldn't be talking anyway. But when I'm finished teaching this mini lesson, I turn off my camera, I turn off my mic, and I turn off the sound. However, the benefit of using this 4 separate meeting windows instead of doing breakout rooms is that I can still see each room. So if I see a student turn on their camera and wave their hand, I know someone needs help. Or sometimes students, they were putting questions into the chat box, or someone would say, I'm done reading. And I was like, well, reading time isn't finished, so you shouldn't be done reading. So yeah, okay, so I start with lesson, group 1, teach the mini lesson. Then I jump into group 2, teach the mini lesson, go to group 3, teach the mini lesson, group 4, teach the mini lesson. Then I jump back to group 1 for 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes, and then 10-minute share. Then group 1's done, 10-minute share with group 2, then they're done, 10-minute share, 10-minute share. Yeah. One thing you might be saying is, well, Caitlin, if you are teaching the other groups while one group is working independently, when do you do your conferencing? Because we know the workshop model is a conferencing model. It's all about having those one-on-one conferences and small group conferences, right? Yes, that was something we thought about. And so I do all of my conferring. I have all of my conferences outside of the workshop model time. So I meet all the students on Sunday, and then I do the workshops on Tuesday and Thursday. So that's kind of how we run that schedule. But to my huge, gigantic surprise, I have so many conferring notes from the lessons. I took a photo of all these notes. So I have, for all the students who showed up, 36 kids, I have 2 data points for each of them. What this is for reading. So it's a skill they were working on in that 5-minute check-in when we did a quick whip around. And then at the end, the share time, that's like they gave examples of how they were really practicing that skill. Or I took notes of like connections they were building between other kids and all these different things. This was a huge surprise. I did not think I would be able to get any conference notes or any kind of data because I would just be like running around from group to group. But one of the benefits of doing this in 4 small groups is that, you know, in a regular classroom, you have a 10-minute share at the end, if you even get to it, let's be real. You know, it's 10 minutes, but maybe it's more like 5 minutes, just like a quick share with your partner. But this, I have a small group of 8 to 9 kids, and 10 minutes is enough time for each student to share something, right? So I'm quickly writing down whatever they're sharing. Then I jump to the next group, and each of those students has time to share, right? So this was another huge, unexpected benefit. So that is how I get my conference notes. So the first day I did this, I was completely terrified. I was scared that it would all, like my computer would stop working or something bad would happen. And then when I finished it, I pretty much literally ran down the hall and went to go tell my friends, I can't believe this just happened. It was so amazing, because it really was. Some of the best feedback I got from students was that they said, Mrs. Wingers, we felt like we were really in the classroom again. And that, I mean, that was like the best thing any student could have said. And I felt like I was in the classroom again. I felt like I was really teaching 36 students at the same time, and I didn't even have to leave my chair. Those check-ins that we had after a sustained amount of independent work time were phenomenal, because these students, they want to talk about what they're doing. They want to interact with each other. They are ready to jump at the opportunity to say, well, I'm working on predictions and this is what I did. And, I'm trying to craft a nice lead. And so this is what I'm trying. They want to share. They want to be a part of that community. And so we did writing on Tuesday. And then by the time we did reading on Thursday, they knew the structure, and those lessons were 10 times better than what we did before, because they weren't trying to navigate, well, how long do I do this? And what does this really mean? So I am so excited for the future of these lessons. That's why I wanted to create this. I know technically it's not a tech tip, but it's one of the best tips I can give right now. In third grade, students can work independently for 45 minutes. For fourth and fifth grade, I think, and above, I think this would be a great structure. Second grade and below, you might need to adjust some of these times, but maybe you just do 2 groups and you start with a 10-minute mini lesson, and then you jump to the next group for 10 minutes, and then you pop back and just only leave the students for 10 minutes at a time. You know your students, and you know how much independent work they can do. But just giving that time to teach, practice, and then come back to it to share all together in the live teaching. Oh, it's something I've really been missing. And I'm so happy that I have it back. So hopefully this is helpful to you. I hope that you can adapt this and maybe find one piece of it that you might use in your virtual classroom. If you want some help or to talk through maybe how this could work for you, I'm so happy to do that. Please let me know. Thanks again for checking this out, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.